Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we will be covering the concept of the song of the summer, because every year when the summer rolls around and the music starts playing, there is a sort of scramble to determine, what is the song of the summer this year, or songs, because there's usually more than one. So in today's video, I do want to talk to you guys about the concept of the song of the summer and give you a little bit more background information. Of course, tell you typically how the song of the summer is determined, and then halfway through the video, we are going to play a little game, so get ready. So actually, speaking of summer, I'm too excited to talk to y'all today about today's sponsor, Flair & Co. Flair & Co. is dedicated to both quality and affordability, and their stainless steel and sterling silver pieces are just perfect for everyday wear, especially in the summer. Because not only are these materials lower maintenance, they also don't cause any skin irritations or make your skin itch. High quality jewelry should be accessible to all, which is exactly why Flair is dedicated to bringing in trendy quality jewelry at a fraction of the price. And that is perfect for me because I'm a self-proclaimed jewelry addict, so that means I can get as many pieces as I want. But now that it is warmer outside, a lot of us are out and about more than usual and doing a lot of activities and sweating, honestly, which can put our jewelry at risk. But I don't know about you guys, rain or shine, no matter what the temperature is, I'm gonna wear jewelry because if we're all gonna be outside, I wanna be looking cute. And aside, of course, from being designed to make you look good, Flair & Co.'s pieces are also water resistant, so they are perfect for whatever activities you have in mind this summer. I wore this chain in the pool, I think once or twice, and you honestly wouldn't even know it. And then aside from that, water resistant jewelry is perfect for me because especially with my earrings, I always forget to take them out so they get wet in the shower quite often. Unfortunately, Flair & Co. has over 200 water-resistant pieces, so you are spoiled for choice when it comes to jewelry that's going to be safe from whatever you decide to get yourself into this summer. And I think it kind of goes without saying at this point, but I am a gold girly, and Flair & Co. has so many wonderful options of gold jewelry, of necklaces, earrings, and rings, so you really can just mix and match and layer everything. Several of the necklaces, you can give the illusion that you're layering without having to worry about a lot of the necklaces or the chains getting all tangled together. And I know that you've already started looking for your little summer looks and your vacation looks, so go ahead and add some jewelry to the list because we both know that you want to. And you can go to FlairAccessories.com/Naomi and use code Naomi for 15% off of your first purchase at Flair & Co. So huge, massive, gigantic thanks to Flair & Co. for sponsoring today's video. And now let's get back to talking about summer songs. Song of the Summer is used to describe that smash hit that takes the airwaves by storm and is practically inescapable. Aside from hearing the song all the time on radio or TV, it's also frequently played in other public spaces. As it gets warmer and many people are on break or vacation, they're spending more time with others, whether it's at a cookout, a pool party, the beach, or even clubs or bars. So there is a communal aspect to the Song of the Summer too, since you're more likely to be listening to the same music as other people than other times of the year. Also, typically whoever is in control of the music in these spaces is trying to play popular songs or songs with mass appeal so they can cater to the whole audience. Though it's really taken off in the past few decades, the Song of the Summer isn't an entirely new concept. People were even wondering about it over a century ago, as evidenced by a 1910 issue of the New York Tribune. The article asks about the Song of the Summer, saying, "About this time to look out for the summer song. What will it be this season? Will it be humorous or will it be unmitigated trash?" Both fair questions. Of course, as music, especially recorded music, became more accessible, more people weren't only listening to more music, but listening to the same music. Once televisions became more commonplace, music programming only increased the accessibility of music. At the same time, in the 50s and 60s, increased leisure time meant that a lot of people, especially younger adults, teens, and children, weren't working as much. Instead, a lot of this time was spent socializing with friends and listening to music together. Around this time, it became easier to tangibly track the popular songs in the summer and year-round as the Billboard Hot 100 started in 1958. The first issue was actually published in August, meaning Ricky Nelson's Poor Little Fool was technically the song of the summer. The concept of the Song of the Summer really took off in the 1990s. The idea of trying to determine which songs define the summer became so popular that music publications and other newspapers and publications in general began reporting on it. In 1995, New York Magazine published an article called That Summer Song. In its opening, the article referred back to the dominance of Madonna's Like a Prayer during the summer of 1989. Author Mim Udovich pointed out how it was an unlikely summer song, but yet and still it could be heard all throughout Manhattan and likely the rest of the country that summer. Udovich speculated both the feelings of hopelessness and cathartic relief in the song were likely relatable to listeners stuck in traffic or in the unrelenting heat. Udovich came up with a 3-point criteria on what counts as a song of the summer. And she says there doesn't just have to be one song of the summer either. First, the song has to actually be released in the summertime. So in her opinion, this disqualified Push It from being a song of the summer in 1987 because it was released in the winter. She said the same about the Beastie Boys, You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. Secondly, Udovich says a song of the summer can be turned into a slogan, be it with the song's title or other memorable lyrics. In the third, she says the song enters your mind and stays there forever. And she's right, because with a lot of these songs of the summer, even if you haven't heard them in years, you remember the lyrics or the melody immediately because it was played so frequently, even if you didn't seek the song out. Again, this speaks to the communal nature of the song of the summer. Udovich describes this perfectly, saying, "The summer song is fundamentally a socialist kind of thing. We all get an equal share, regardless of our class or station in life, or our own volition." She also pointed out how sometimes songs do seem intentionally geared to be a summertime smash, but it does work in the artist's favor. The hallmark example from the 90s, which Udovich gave as well, is definitely DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's Summertime, which came out in 1991. I think a more recent example would be Demi Lovato's Cool for the Summer, which came out in 2015. As far as charts go, songs of the summer typically dominate them from May to September or from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And these songs are often reflective overall of the genres that are popular at the time, though they might sound more maximalist and carefree in order to create a fun summer jam. In the 90s, several songs of the summer, of course, were pop, but also notably often hip-hop or R&B influence as well. Just to show you what I mean, Billboard has actually compiled a list of the top 10 songs of the summer every year from 1958. This is their Songs of the Summer chart, which started in 2010, but retroactive charts have been made. And in the 90s, we see a lot of hip-hop and R&B topping the charts. I'll give you some of the top songs from a couple years, but if you want to look at the whole chart for fun, it is linked in the description. So for 1990, the top song was Mariah Carey's Vision of Love. In 92, it was Baby Got Back, and in 95, it was Waterfalls. In 96, it was The Macarena, and in 98, it was The Boy's Mine. Since The Boy's Mine topped the charts for 13 weeks, to this day, the song is the most successful female collaboration of all time, 25 years still after its release. This song is a bop any time of the year, but imagine how many teens and young adults were getting together and singing the song at the top of their lungs on break. And in 1999, the song of the summer was Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle. So you can definitely see the popularity of hip-hop and R&B, and even some pop at the time reflected in these songs of the summer. And of course, the song being number one for the summer doesn't mean it was the only popular song that summer. Also at this time, there are a lot of television programs and events catered towards summer music. Though it isn't technically a summer event, let's be real, after spring break, it's basically summer. And often what's gaining traction in the spring informs what blows up later on in the summer. MTV Spring Break started in 1986 and was at its height in the late 90s. The program filmed on beaches from Florida to Mexico and hosted live performances for music's hottest acts. Young adults would travel from all over to attend the event, which was basically a spring break, beach trip, and concert all in one. The event originally ran until 2005, and some notable performers included Aaliyah, Destiny's Child, Kylie Minogue, Ashanti, Blink-182, and the Backstreet Boys. Of course, the buzz these performances generated for the artists only increased the popularity of their hits, and just in time to give them a little boost for the summer. In 1994, the New York radio station Hot 97 held their first summer jam. It was the first ever all-hip-hop arena show to take place, fittingly hosted by the first ever all-hip-hop radio station. Performers at the inaugural event included Nas, Queen Latifah, the Wu-Tang Clan, SWV, and A Tribe Called Quest. The Summer Jam is an annual hip-hop festival in New York and is actually the largest hip-hop music and culture celebration in the country. The 29th Hot 97 Summer Jam took place a couple weeks ago at the beginning of June. According to Hot 97, it was the first time in the show's history the lineup was dominated by women. Some of the female rappers on this year's lineup included Ice Spice, Cardi B, Lola Brooke, and Glorilla. Appearances were also made by Flo Milli, Lotto, and Callie. Aside from these specific events, late spring and summertime is festival season. It's often the time where it's most convenient for people to see artists, and of course the weather is typically better. Performing a song in front of a crowd of tens and thousands of people, often several times a summer, is only going to make your song more popular. This also speaks to the communal aspect, as masses are listening to the song live at once, even more than would be at a party or most other social events. Several big musical festivals like Coachella and Bonnaroo began in the 90s, but were more intimate, much smaller events than they are now. But of course, as they grew and became more commercialized, they drew bigger names wanting to headline or even perform to promote their music. In 1999, a Song of the Summer bracket was added to the New York Times. This was the idea of music critic Ann Powers. Though I don't think it became an annual thing, other outlets have done Song of the Summer brackets as well. This speaks to how there was now this sort of race or contest to declare a Song of the Summer. And most of this wasn't good fun and thought of as an aspect of pop culture rather than an actual serious contest. But still, there were some contests. Moving into the 2000s, a lot of the songs of the summer were still hip-hop influenced and very pop influenced as well. In 2000, the top song was Bent by Matchbox 20. Other summer songs that year included Aaliyah's Try Again, NSYNC's It's Gonna Be Me, and Destiny's Child's Jumpin' Jumpin'. I cheated, but those were such strong ones, I just had to add those in too, so I honestly think I'm just going to do the top 3 for a couple of the years in the 2000s. For 2002, the top 3 songs of the summer were Hot in Here, Complicated, and Dilemma. In 2005, they were We Belong Together, Holla Back, and Don't Ya. In 2008, they were I Kissed a Girl, Take a Bow, and Lollipop. And in 2009, the top 3 were I Got a Feeling, Boom Boom Pow, and Knock You Down. So we can kind of see rock and R&B phasing out for those top summer songs, which reflects the shift in music overall across the decade. And speaking more towards the 90s and the earlier 2000s, a lot of the most classic songs from those eras I noticed were summer smashes. As someone who was born in 1998, I obviously don't know all of the 90s and 2000s music, so you grow up mostly familiar with those big songs from the past eras. And I actually did a little experiment and looked at some of the charts from these same years from fall and winter, and overall I knew a lot less of those songs. So part of me does wonder if the more communal or socialist, as Yudovich put it, nature of the summer song translates to a more lasting impact. Because yes, number one is number one, but one number one song can be more popular, more impactful, and more remembered than another. But that was just something interesting that I noticed, and I would be curious to know if anyone around my age has noticed the same thing. Starting in 2009, the London radio station Capital started their Summertime Ball. The event is a mini festival and celebration of summer and of course features that year's hottest performers. In 2009, the headliners were Akon, Kelly Clarkson, and Leona Lewis. The festival usually has a pretty sizable lineup of artists from all genres and almost always has special guests as well. And though I said there may not always be one song of the summer, and in most cases there isn't, several networks have created their own awards to crown a song with that title. I've already mentioned Billboard, but the VMAs do it as well. Their Song of the Summer category began in 2013, and One Direction was their first winner, winning for the best song ever. The other songs nominated that year were Come and Get It, Get Lucky, We Can't Stop, I Need Your Love, and Blurred Lines. The VMAs actually uses an online voting version of the bracket system to determine their Song of the Summer. A lot of networks actually do these Song of the Summer tournaments. Some do annual ones with the popular songs for that year, and others do more general ones with songs from all over the years. Access Hollywood hosted one of those last year via social media. Their bracket began at the end of June, and contestants would vote daily on Twitter and Instagram, and then days later, after the bracket was done, the song was chosen. Okay, so now I want to play a little game with y'all. It's partly kind of a prove how arbitrary a The Song of the Summer title is because there's always multiple. And this is also just for the vibes, honestly. So we are going to take a trip down memory lane all the way back to 2010. So get in your skinny jeans and sneaker wedges mindset. For each year in the 2010s, I'm going to ask you to pick the most popular song of the summer according to Billboard. So this is more quantitative. Because of course Billboard does calculate their chart positions based on sales and radio play. In 2012, streaming from music apps was added into the calculations, and YouTube streams were added in 2013. And for funsies, I will also tell you the number one song on Billboard for that entire year. So get ready. So for 2010, the choices are Love the Way You Lie, Dynamite, California Girls, and Like a G6. The top song of the summer that year was California Girls, and the number one song that year in general was TikTok. For 2011, we have Party Rock Anthem, Blow, Super Bass, and Only Girl in the World. The song of the summer that year was Party Rock Anthem, and the song of the year was Rolling in the Deep. For 2012, we have Broken Hearted, We Are Young, Titanium, and Call Me Maybe. The song of the summer was Call Me Maybe, and the song of the year was Somebody That I Used to Know. For 2013, we have Get Lucky, Blurred Lines, Roar, and Royals. The song of the summer was Blurred Lines, and the song of the year was Thrift Shop. For 2014, we have Fancy, Am I Wrong, Happy, and Bang Bang. The song of the summer was Fancy, and the song of the year was Happy. For 2015, we have Bad Blood, Cheerleader, Worth It, and Trap Queen. The song of the summer was Cheerleader, and the song of the year was Uptown Funk. For 2016, we have Panda, This Is What You Came For, One Dance, and Needed Me. The song of the summer was One Dance, and the song of the year was Love Yourself. For 2017, we have Shape of You, Despacito, Humble, and Location. The song of the summer was Despacito, and the song of the year was Shape of You. For 2018, we have New Rules, The Middle, In My Feelings, and Sicko Mode. The song of the summer was In My Feelings, and the song of the year was God's Plan. And for 2019, we have Bad Guy, Old Town Road, Motivation, and Hot Girl Summer. The song of the summer was Old Town Road, and as you can imagine, the song of the year was also Old Town Road. So definitely let me know your thoughts as well as how many you got right. I feel like later into the 2010s, if I hadn't known the answers, some of them would have been harder to guess. It was noted that the pandemic made it difficult to determine a song of the summer for 2020. This was obviously because people were inside all summer, so the communal events where a lot of these summer songs blow up just weren't happening. But of course, music was still being streamed and released, and as we know, songs do trend on social media as well. I read an amazing article in The Atlantic written by Spencer Kornhaber, who said the sound of the summer of 2020 was chaos. His song of the summer personally was Arca's Mequetrefe. The experimental pop song is chaotic and tumultuous, much like the state of the world with the pandemic and the protests. In addition, Spencer pointed out how this glitch experimental music would be a mood killer at the beach or a lot of other summery social events. But because people were isolated and mostly sharing music online, which is as individual as it is social, that no longer mattered. In his article, Spencer asked the question, can one great bop unite the sweltering socially distanced masses? He made the point that because of apps like TikTok, the charts were no longer entirely indicative of all the songs that were massively popular. He pointed to the rapid succession of number ones in the short span of time that summer. The box dominated the earliest months of 2020, and then social media made Blinding Lights trend, which in this case did reflect on the charts. Blinding Lights spent 4 weeks at number 1 and then was unseated. By the time Spencer wrote the article, which was on July 17th of 2020, 8 other songs had gone number 1, 7 of them lasting only a week. While it was easier than ever for songs to top the charts, it was also more apparent than ever that these positions could be fleeting. Spencer said that if he had to pick a song of the year for 2020, it would have been DaBaby's Rockstar, which featured Roddy Ricch, and Billboard does agree with him. The year-end number 1 single for that year was Blinding Lights. Blackpink won the Song of the Summer VMA that year for How You Like That, because if there's one thing Blinks are gonna do, it's win a fan vote. And aside from the pandemic in general, people's musical tastes are broken down into smaller niches nowadays because of streaming. There's no longer this radio and TV monoculture, so a lot of songs don't become as universally popular as they used to. But in cases where they do, it almost feels like these songs take on a life of their own. I talked about this a little in my Teen Idols video when discussing why it's harder now to create mega pop stars, and those same concepts apply here. I do, however, feel like we saw a bit of a bounce back in 2021 though, because I definitely remember all of those top songs being everywhere, both on social media and in real life. Maybe this was caused by people being so excited for the world to open up again, even if just a little. The top songs of the summer for 2021 were Butter, Good For You, Levitating, Kiss Me More, and the Save Your Tears remix. Comparatively, we also got more live performances of these songs than the year before, which of course helped promote them better. Spotify has already shared their predictions for the songs of the summer of 2023, and I have it on screen for you to look at now. The list is in alphabetical order, not ordered by how popular Spotify thinks that they might be this summer. They use the current streams and trajectory of the songs in order to make their forecast, so be sure to share your thoughts on their predictions. Billboard's Song of the Summer chart is already active for this year, and at the time that I'm recording, Morgan Wallen's Last Night is number 1. Currently it's number 1 in the Hot 100 as well, and I still have never heard that song once, but that just proves a lot of us these days are in our own little musical bubble somewhat. The other songs in the top 5 include Karma, Flowers, All My Life, and Calm Down. This is also the same as the Hot 100. So as we get further into the summer, we'll have to see how and if this changes, and which song will officially unseat last year's Song of the Summer on Billboard, which was Harry Styles' As It Was. So down in the comments, I of course want to know your favorite summertime songs and what's on your summertime playlist if you happen to have one. And of course, do be sure to let me know your predictions for the Song of the Summer this year. As always, thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can stick around for more. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up with me there. And if you'd like to become a channel member, the link is in the video's description. Again, thank you so very much for watching. I love you all so very much, and I will see you so very soon. Bye-bye.